Watching out the window from a dementia unit is not an aimless exercise. It is a prime time activity. And the thing to consider is whether the windows or the unit is upstairs or downstairs. That makes a big difference. If it's upstairs, then the view is less blocked out and more far-reaching. And if the unit is downstairs, the view is likely to be more immediate, but not as expansive. And of course, you've probably got the advantage of having a garden or a place to be able to walk outside in the fresh air if you're downstairs. Let's though take the view from an upstairs perspective. The dementia unit's upstairs, and say there's window seats all around from the lounge, and just left of the window seats, or just near the window seats on the left, is a big camellia tree. Now this is a great advantage. In Christchurch, South Island, New Zealand here, camellia trees are all coming out at the moment. It's the end of winter, and red, pink and every shade in between of beautiful camellias with yellow stamens are flourishing everywhere. So that means it's the time for the little birds and the bees to go and get the pollen. Now, if you are a dementia resident observing this camellia tree and have been all winter, nothing happening, and then you see the little pink buds come out, flowers come out, and then at last the beautiful birds. Many dementia residents are bird watchers or become bird watchers living in dementia units, because at that first level of dementia, facilities, of course, that's where the birds fly around. That's their territory, isn't it? Flying around trees and getting pollen. So if your eye view is directly into that canopy of that beautiful tree, then you've got the birds, the bees, the sunshine, the flowers, nature at its best, and you can see all the goings on. I mean, there's nothing more beautiful or touching or sweet than seeing a little green finch for the first time of the season poking its beak into the yellow stamen of the camellia. The camellia flowers practically bigger than the bird, and it's wonderful aspect of nature to be able to witness that, and then all the other little birds coming and getting their fill. So of course, trying to get a seat is another story, but this is assuming you've got the seat. Now, for those residents that are committed bird watchers, they will save the breadcrumbs in their pocket and place it, gingerly out on the ledge, which will be open about that far only. In dementia units, the window, very little ventilation. So you can open the window, but about that far only. Anyway, look, that's security, unfortunately. But at least you can put your hands out and put the bread on the ledge. Birds don't fly in. It's not big enough for birds to fly in, but it's big enough for crumbs to go out. So the birds eat the crumbs, and you can see those birds just only about 2 feet away from your nose or your eyes. It's a wonderful activity for women and men that love bird watching. So that's one advantage of window watching from the first floor. The other advantage of window watching from the first floor is that you can see the planes, the helicopters, everything aerial is well visioned. Vision board, the window vision boards in a dementia unit first floor. At one unit I worked at, one of the residents was a prior farmer, many are, the men. He'd been a potato farmer, a vegetable farmer, and I think he had sheep as well, but he was a very organised man, and he was always looking out the window assessing the weather, as farmers do, rain being the big factor. And he was actually the first person in the unit to note that there were fires, big bushfires on the Port Hills, just to the right of the unit, not far away at all. We almost had to evacuate. And he noticed the fires, and then he was the first one to see all the helicopters coming across the window with their huge, great water buckets, dumping water, at the centre of the fire, trying to dampen it out. So that was all very exciting. And he was the one to lead the way with that. And then with any aircraft going down to Antarctica, there's special aircraft, Air Force aircraft, I think, that go down to Antarctica, and he was always able to spot those aircraft going out to Antarctica and would call out to everyone to come and have a look. So that was his window viewing. So what actually happens is that this viewing out the window becomes the outside reality, outside in effect for the dementia resident. I mean, adjusting to a facility takes enormous resilience and strength of character, assimilating. But if you've got a context with the outside world through the window, through the view, it does help a lot with being able to stabilize and keep one's inner stability, inner compass going. And so the lounge and the views outside with the birds and the bees, the flowers and the trees, the Air Force, the helicopters, it's life, isn't it? It's part of life and part of the world. And dementia residents feel very much a part of it when they can be exposed to these views, which the first floor gives you. So at least that's one big advantage of being on the first floor. So this topic and more in these books, The Resident's Voice from a Dementia Unit, everything you need to know for a relative going into a dementia facility, and The Resident's Rise, everything you know for a person already in a facility and the challenges you may well face and positive practical solutions to help with that. So these books are on Amazon and my website, description below, pietavalentine.com. So thank you so much for all your support, all your subscribing and viewing, supporting of Granny, who's now becoming, quite a feature. She's doing very well amidst it all. And please take note of all these positive practical techniques. If you get the books, which hopefully you will, it's good reading, it's systematic. The first half is a novel on the lives of the dementia residents in dementia facilities and all the goings on. Second half, positive practical techniques to help people in these facilities. So the books have it all, and it's an easy read and good handbag material reading for when you're in the unit or elsewhere and you've got a few minutes to spare. So thank you for your support. Please subscribe. 200 subscribers now. YouTube 200. Very good. And TikTok, I think, well over 200, 230, something like that now. So thank you so much. I appreciate your support. And again, thanks.